Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. Well, I got a little bit of a late setup. I'm sorry about that. But I get some people in the chat, so I'm going to ask a question. Am I a physic? I must be some kind of physic because I was talking about something last night, and man, if it didn't hit home today. Very strange. But you know what? I got to watch my titles. Hi, Joy. How are you doing? When I put my titles in, because I put the magic word last night, TRUTH. Okay, watch. That's what I put in there. And don't you know my views were suppressed like you wouldn't believe? And I believe it's because I use that word. So that's why I misspelled FACT. You know? Well, I guess it's past the 1 minute mark, so I can use certain words like fact check. The new phase of their psyop, okay? They're circling the wagons, and they're coming for full circle. Remember how this all started with Trump? What did he do? He pointed his finger and he said, "You're fake news." That was the first time we heard it. I believe it was Jim Acosta out there, and he said, I'm not answering, I'm not answering, blah, 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 blah. You're fake news. And that's when it took off like wildfire. Now here we coming around full circle where they're saying cheap fake. All right, they're using the term fake and trying to get that effect and direct it back towards us. So don't you know that your own eyeballs have been debunked? That's another term they use, debunked. Don't you know the video you saw has been debunked? Your eyeballs have been fact-checked. Don't you know that? So if you say, hey, I saw Biden looking really old, like they had a video of him. Did you all see the video of him walking, getting ready to go to Delaware, right? He was in the civilian clothes, walking across an expanse of lawn to Marine One. And I swear, if I was one of these guys that had some people helping me with my videos, and I give them an idea of a clip to create, I'd show them a cheap fake, all right. I'd show them a good fake. You know what? I don't know if you've seen it, or I might get a copy of it and play it next time I do a picture show. Biden toddling across the yard. You're watching him from the back, and he's zigzagging and doing his kind of old man robot walk. And they played it on Fox. Nobody talking, nothing. Just Biden staggering toward the Marine One. And and I don't want to get a copyright strike. So I could do like Weird Al Yankovic and do a twisted version of, you can tell by the way I use my walk. A woman's man, no time for talk. Ha, 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 ha. Kind of staying alive. Kind of. So, yeah, that would be funny to do. It'd be a little cruel, I guess, but I'd definitely get a copyright strike if I went ahead and put the Bee Gees over top of Biden's walk to the helicopter on the way to Delaware. But as we know, in Delaware, what do they got? What do they got in Delaware? They have a skiff. Okay. And he's going to be there a week, and it ain't going to be just to prep for the debate. I mean, what politician got their head on right, which isn't the case here, been in the game 50-some years, needs to go in isolation for a week before they go up against a convicted felon. So yeah, there's going to be some meetings there with Hussein and whoever else may be pulling the strings. I watched these two girls did a video, and I'll get the name of them. I think you all enjoy watching them. But she, uh, she was talking about, you know, the reports of Biden in Italy losing his bowels, and in that restaurant where I played the video, or yeah, right in front of everybody. And she said, I'm not going to call them puppet masters anymore. She said, I'm going to call them poopy masters. Poopy masters, whoever is behind all this stuff. So we'll see if that catches on, and we'll give her credit for coming up with poopy masters instead of puppet masters. Hi, Andrew. How you doing? Angela. How you doing? Gary. Kim. Dory. How you doing? Yeah, nobody's buying their crapola anymore. Hi, Sissy. Hi, Melinda. You saw that, Melinda? Wouldn't that be funny if it was played over with the song they used on Saturday Night Fever? Would Hi, Rubber Toe. I'll probably get a copyright strike just for doing that corny little bit there. Jet lag, how you doing? Sandy. I think it's about as far as I can go back. Canis cleanup. Wow, that's it. I've hit the see. Oh no, there we go. White lightning. Who did I miss? I must have missed somebody. Doc. There you go. You know, I don't like missing people, but if I do, I apologize. And sometimes I'll say people's names multiple times. Hi, Wayne. How you doing? Oh, Andrew says they're going to pull the plug on Carter. I don't know about that. I don't think. Well, Trump has been mentioning him just about every speech. Jimmy Carter, and I don't know that. I won't say that's not a possibility. I don't think he's hooked up to a machine, but I don't think they're beyond a pillow. Okay. So if Mike Lindell gets an order out to that address, maybe slow it down a little bit. Gary says Carter is gone. Oh, gosh, that's good news, Angela. Now, isn't that something? Well, that is great news. Hi, Debbie. Yeah, that would make a good meme. You know, like I said, you'd have to do a Weird Al Yankovic, change the lyrics, and dub the music in. That's too much work for me, but it would be funny. So, this is going to be a big weekend. This is going to be a weekend for people to sweat. I noticed that there wasn't much news coming out of the Eastern news services. Quiet, relatively quiet over there. There's a war going on, but the news isn't flying around like usual. You know, you probably get 40 to 80 posts. I think they only had like 15 posts. Trump put up was limited, other than endorsements, and I encourage everybody to look up, go to Truth Social, go to Dan Scavino's page. He'll have it. You can scroll down there and find the Swamp the Vote and these sites that trusted sites you can go to where you can look up who's in your area. You know, you don't need no swamp creatures because they got all these little mini swamps all over the place. But I'm going to tell you something where I thought I was like, I must be a physic. Must have some of that mental telepathy powers going or something. Because last night I was saying, and referencing a discussion I had 8 months ago about these corny characters that Midas Trash Network has as guests. A guy wearing a cowboy hat calling himself Texas Jake, and some other nitwit, Tennessee Eddie, with a weird goatee, and all of them do these strained country accents, but they all prattle the same egghead liberal BS. But they're from my observations, my opinion is that these people aren't real. Okay, and then I see recently these channels pop up with the same type of names. Kentucky Joe. I want to say something about that Trump. He just ain't no good. And they've got $60,000 or 70,000 followers out of the blue. And it's like, well, this is BS right here. And so then I heard today that Fox News, part of their polling coming out, was claiming, according to their polls, that Trump is behind in the rural vote. Get real. And I said to myself, are they that coordinated? Are they putting up these phony country names so the general population will believe there's all these Kentucky Joes, Texas Eds, and all these shit-kicking characters that just don't like Donald Trump? Well, wait a minute. I thought everybody was clinging to their gods, Bibles, and guns. How did that all get flipped around? But it's all propaganda. And I was watching a video late last night after I did my broadcast. And a creator put up there a reminder to me. I don't think they realized they were reminding it. They only flashed it on the screen for a little bit. But they were talking about how Disney had crumbled. Now I watched a lot of videos about the Disney tapes, about what's going on with their stock, what's going to happen with their CEO, Bob Iger, and so it's a ways back in my watch history. But he put up something talking about something I forgot about, that Fox News had a merger approved and through the SEC, and we know how corrupt the SEC is, how infiltrated, okay? Disney owns Fox News, all right, by virtue of a merger with Fox News with a company that is controlled by Disney. I forgot about that. I don't know how, was it a year ago or maybe year and a half? More? But we know Paul Ryan is on the board of Fox. And we know Disney is elbow deep in the DEI commitments, financial, contractual, and it's probably not even. I will say, in my layman's brain, that it is illegal. Okay, we're talking about rank and open discrimination. Okay, civil rights violations. So now it makes sense. If you know that Fox News has merged into a company that is under the Disney umbrella, like ABC. So Yeah, there's something rotten in Denmark, but that's why you have this screwy outlier poll by Fox News saying Donald Trump is behind in rural areas. How many times have you seen the electoral map where everything, what they call flyover country, rural areas, is beat red, bright cherry red all the way across the country? And then you got these blue, uh, either hijacked states or just blue cities with machines like the Daily Machine, Chicago. That's going back to Kennedy's day, where they organized get out the vote, if you know what I mean. So anyway, let me see who snuck in here a while. Hi, Kicking Bird. How you doing? So we get down here to strategy. How should Trump approach this debate coming up? Hi, Em. How you doing? Yeah, Angela, that's super news. Boy, what a load taken off your mind, I'm sure. I tell you, a situation I held an x-ray up of a loved one years ago, and in the lung was a tumor big as my fist, stage 4 in the lung. And after treatments, it was about the size of my thumbnail. And it was my mother. And she lived close to 20 years after that. And when she did pass away, it was not from the cancer. So that's why I say you never give up hope. Pappy Two Bears, how you doing? Yeah, we're watching the greatest show on earth. Hi, Roland. Well, something's very close. New ATMs in Iraq. Yeah, well, we got all these countries going in with BRICS. We got Saudi Arabia has said sayonara to the U.S. as far as the petrodollar, and they're selling oil to other currencies. No, Disney owns ABC. Jet lag. Disney owns ABC. They're not a part of ABC. Tennessee, how you doing? Miss Bender Sue, how you doing? Well, that's right, KS Cleanup. Ever since the 2020 election, everybody's jaw hit the floor when Brett Baer announced Arizona for Biden early. And he did it where even his co-hosts were looking, I'm like, what are you doing at the decision desk? Well, guess who was reading the poll that had Biden ahead of Trump that I talked about last night? It was Brett Baer. I got a screenshot of it in my phone. Brett Baer reading those poll numbers, saying Biden was beating Trump on a 1-to-1 matchup. Are that many people who are disconnected, not paying attention? I know there's plenty of malcontents and morons, and sellouts who would make these videos that I was telling you about, and that you can see anytime you want. Just go on Utizzle. And Tim Pool did a video on that. What is his name? Patrick Tyler Cohen or something like that. I might have it in my phone, a screenshot of it. And he's an attorney, and if he's not, he sure dresses like one and talks the talk, puts his 10 cents in about all these legal things. And I've always said it, people that are licensed attorneys, officers of the court, shouldn't be out there running their mouths like that about, uh, especially the president and commander in chief, knowingly repeating falsehoods. But anyway, he got called out by Tim Pool. And there you're going to have millions of young people see that weak attempt to make Trump look like he was getting helped off the stage by Don Jr. Weak, weak, weak. Lying, fake, fake, fake. Let's see who's here. I'm glad they're using the term fake. They're claiming that outlandish. I don't think they're actually having. I think what they're doing. Hi, Melvita. I think what they're doing is just what I was saying, and what they claimed they did with Hillary back during the 2016 election was they put him on a medication vacation. That's why they're hiding him away from everybody, so he doesn't stay overloaded with medications. So they'll be more effective. So he's going to be. They're going to have to keep him in the dark. Oh, yeah, I don't think that's what's going on there. They're going to make him rest. And keep him off medication. How did Brett do through those storms? I saw some pictures of places flooded out, and Babylon B said, whatever the name of the storm is it right when it crossed over into Texas? They gave the Biden administration gave them citizenship. Yeah, it's going to be the most watched debate. Outlandish. It's going to break all the records. Your guess is as good as ours, Candace. Who it's going to be behind that rubber face? That's right, kicking bird. Pennsylvania, that's where Judge Alito put out an order, and that might come back to bite some people in the back, and that's why they're after Alito like they are, one of the many reasons. And the news has been showing Biden during his State of the Union and saying, well, if he does the performance just as good as that performance, everybody's going to say he won the debate. Well, they are not taking into account that just about everything he said in that State of the Union was repeating his last State of the Union. Wasn't nothing new. Same slogan, same BS, and everybody jumping up and clapping. It wasn't a new speech. Yeah, he's being tutored on all the questions. Yeah, he'll get all the questions ahead of time. As a matter of fact, they'll probably write the questions and give them to fake Tapper and Dana Bash. Is that who it is? So I was saying that Trump has got a lot of experience in being in high stakes business deals, dealing with bullies, dealing with smart, slick characters, yes men, deceiver, the people that deceive and snake around and then blowhards. He's been with all types of people, and he knows how to handle them, and he always comes out on top. So what are they expecting, and what is everybody projecting for Biden? everybody's projecting that if he can simply form sentences and remain upright and not freeze up, that he's going to win. Namely, the bar is set very low for Joe Biden. Very low. With Trump, who was it? Van Jones. Van Jones was on CNN. Well, if Biden can handle this freight train coming at him, this crazy bulldozer plowing through and all this, I couldn't stand up to him. You couldn't stand up to him. So if Joe Biden can stand up to this freight train called Donald Trump, then he deserves to be president. Oh, okay. What if Trump comes in and is charming? What if Trump comes in and he is respectful and in a good mood? Remember the State of the Union Trump gave? And he even had AOC and all those prune-faced, purple-haired liberal congresswomen jumping up and clapping what he said and giving each other high fives. They didn't even realize how good they were making Donald Trump look. That was the one where Nancy ripped up his speech. He was charming people. He charmed the whole of Congress, even the Democrat side, into getting up and clapping and celebrating what he was saying. Now, I'm not saying Joe's going to get up and clap and celebrate, but he may be very disarming, and he may slip in some shots that, with a smile, like a regular person, that are really going to hit home, and that they're not going to be prepared for how to handle them. But here's what I see with the Democrat debate handbook. I watched Romney and Obama, the first debate. I remember the great Rush Limbaugh, okay, the great El Rushbo, after the first Romney-Obama debate. He was elated, Rush was. He was ecstatic. He said he showed just how vapid Obama was and how Romney dominated and this kind of stuff and that kind of stuff. And everybody got their hopes up, and Romney got a bump in the polls, which it was all contrived and worthless. We didn't know that then. Frank Luntz knew then, but we didn't. The one with the hair like Janet Napolitano. But anyway. So the second debate came around, and the second debate was the night that we heard about a little thing called Benghazi. And Romney started off the debate by saying, there are reports coming to me about an operation happening over there, and where American citizens' lives are in danger. And we don't have an effective foreign policy. We don't have effective defense. Libya's in an uproar. And that's when Hillary and Obama were blaming it on a YouTube video. Well, farther into the debate, Obama got smarmy. Smarmy is the word. Well, Mitt Romney, the 1990s called, or 80s or whatever, and they want their defense policies back. Stuff like that. Oh, I guess you never heard of airplanes. Mitt, they go in the air, they fly. Stuff like that. The type of arguments that a juvenile college student would think was scoring good points. Hi, Lone Wolf, how you doing? No, Romney's a loser. He's rhino, and he, like Trump said, I don't know why you folded like you did, but you folded. Hi, Ravens. But Trump knows why he folded, because he was supposed to fold. Hi, Alan. Well, we didn't. That's a little too much information. Install one in your living room, and you can just sit there and watch TV all day. A Commodio, like Homer Simpson. So anyway, so smarmy. And then, who did Biden debate? I know a lot of you know in the chats. Biden debated somebody, and it was pure smarm. He was making wisecracks, feeding off of media fake reports, and then wisecracking and swatting his hand like, "Oh, get out of here, kid." Called him a kid. Who was it that Biden debated? See who gets it in the chats. Dun, 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 boom, boom. Well, you can't tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a woman man. No time for talk. Now, for people that weren't at the beginning of my video, I'm doing that song. I'm thinking about that song because I've got a vision of Biden staggering in his civilian clothes in the dark across the lawn like a frozen jerky puppet toward Marine One to head to Delaware. And I'm playing in my mind the music of Saturday Night Fever. Ha ha ha. Angela said Palin. Ian said Eddie Munster. Gary said Romney's gone too. Do you all remember when Romney had that joint mini press conference with Trump about vape flavors, and Romney brought up unicorn poop? Trump looked relaxed, confident, and Romney looked like he just been slapped around behind the barn a little bit. Okay, Angela says Obama. No, Joe Biden debated oh my God, Romney's running mate. Romney's running mate was Paul Ryan. Okay, on the board of Fox News, and as we know now, Fox News is a subsidiary of Disney. So anyway, he made Romney he made Paul Ryan look like a child. And Trump even brought that up. He said, I think when Trump had an interview with two guys that do a podcast, what was it, last night? He did one. He brought that up. He said, I think Biden's a capable debater, and I'm going to approach it that way. I'm not going to underestimate him. And he said, I remember what he did to Paul Ryan. And I remember too. He swatted his hand at him while I was laughing, like, get out of here, kid. And he said, yeah, okay, keep it up. Keep working, kid. You'll get better at it. You'll learn. Look at this kid over here trying to debate me. He looks so silly, doesn't he? Look at him, people. Look. I mean, he did everything but that. Mocked him. Smarmy. So Biden is, and when Biden debated Trump, remember him saying, hey, get this clown out of here. Oh, I shouldn't say that, but, get this guy out of here. He was trying that with Trump, the first debate he had with Trump. called him a clown. President of the United States. Well, let's say Trump takes the Reagan path during the debate. When Ronald Reagan debated a sitting president, who? Jimmy Carter. He treated him with deference, respect. He always respected the office. Ronald Reagan would not enter the Oval Office without his suit on. He didn't go in there in a polo shirt. He didn't go in there in shorts. He didn't go in there, in a t-shirt. He always wore his suit and tie in the Oval Office out of respect. So he treated Carter with respect, but he had charm, and he was on his game, and he knew the facts, and he didn't have to defend himself about anything. Anything they tried to throw at him was weak and foolish, and he swatted concerns, criticisms away like gnats, like a fly. And what he did was do a verbal indictment of the Carter administration during his debate. And the famous, there you go again, when they were bringing up petty little nonsense things and he was talking about serious stuff. Hold on a second, I just got a notification. Holy cow, Gary, stop by, buy me a coffee. Boom, 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 boom. Got 4 booms. 5 booms, I don't care. Thank you, Gary, for stopping by, buy me a coffee. And Robin, I hope you're out there listening too, like you were last night, honey. Even though I started a little bit late, for helping us sponsor the program. I appreciate it. Robin's a founder. And Gary's been a big supporter. There we go. Miss Minder Suzette. Boom, boom, boom for Gary. Yeah, Debbie's talking about the Pence situation with Paul Ryan. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Mr. T looks like he's in charge just because he is. I mean, if you put yourself in his shoes, you would want ironclad guarantees, that the people behind the scenes protecting you and supporting you would not get cold feet, that this is ironclad, this is what we're going to do with our country. One way or the other, we're going to restore our republic. We're not going to start a new republic. We're not going to overthrow a republic. We're going to restore. And General Flynn put out a statement. I don't have it in front of me. I might have took a screenshot of it, but I can give you the gist of it. Was it that if you don't throw out all the rot and the corruption, and if you try to create another institution to battle the corruption, the new institution will eventually become corrupt and join all the old corrupt factions. So you need to get all the corruption, all the criminality out, period. It's the only way. And it's a very telling comment. Because we don't want to be going through this again. And let me see if I can find that comment. Oh my gosh, I got to pull that out of my studio. Let me see here. New York Post had a nice picture on the cover. Trump with a baseball bat saying, swinging for the swing for the fences. That he's leading in all the swing states. Oh, here's a good little article from Citizens Free Press. It It's over for the Democrats. You know why? Because Judge Judy said it's over. Judge Judy was on with Chris Wallace. I guess what they're doing is they're still going through with that CNN cable or internet deal with Chris Wallace. And he scored an interview with Judge Judy. Now, Judge Judy is a big liberal, okay? She's a classical liberal, not these things running around now. But I don't think she gave the answer they wanted, because she said, as a person who owns property in Manhattan, I would be happier if Alvin Bragg took care of the criminals who make it impossible to ride the subway or walk the streets than spending $10 million of taxpayer money trying Donald Trump on nonsense. So Judge Judy knows the score, and Chris Wallace is sitting there with his mouth hanging open. And don't forget, Chris Wallace was the one who did the first debate with Trump and Biden and treated Trump very poorly. Aracelis, how you doing? Yeah, Biden debated Paul Ryan. Hi, Mark, how you doing? Judge Judy knows. Oh yeah, it's got to be being eradicated behind the scenes. It's got to be, and I'm a firm believer in why we're going through these exercises is to get them out of the woodwork, out of the shadows, because right now Eileen Cannon is holding hearings, and she has been under fire, but it is really getting pointed and increased in intensity. She's been threatened with being overruled and talked down to, an attorney talking to her like this and clapping his hands and having to be told to calm down. She's had 2 sitting judges contact her to have her drop the cases, although she's very capable. The only thing she's done is refuse to allow the case to be ramrodded through, that people follow the rules of evidence. And she's discovered where they have tampered with evidence, they've excluded evidence, redacted stuff that didn't need to redact, withheld evidence. Now she's taking a look at, Jack, why are you here? Who the hell are you? How are you authorized to do this? Then they're pushing her for the gag order. Pushing her for a gag order. And saying, where is that report I got? I think it was Midas Trash Network put it up. That's usually isn't too hard to find, because Jack Smith is just really hideous looking, and you can spot that. There it is. Jack Smith responds to Trump opposition to gag order in Mar-a-Lago docs case, cites threats, saying he's being threatened. And that is Midas Trash Network. So it could very well come out that Jack Smith just gets tossed off. Won't the left go cuckoo then? Are they going to report it right? Of course not. One creator put a video up of where they said Biden was a deep fake and had been altered. he played the video that CNN was playing, said was uh, talking like it was perfectly fine, that Biden looking fine, doing fine. And then he played the video that Fox News had, and they were identical, identical. All they have to do is repeat the videos were tampered with. The videos are cheap fakes. They've been debunked. We fact check the videos. If you listen to Jean Pierre, or whatever her name is, the videos have been fact checked. So that's where I came up with your eyes have been fact checked. Don't believe them. Your eyes have been debunked. So now what are they going to do with what they'll make whatever story they want and repeat it and repeat it. Oh, I got another notification. Let me see. Oh, I got ROL. Who says, no, I don't see a message, but bought me a coffee. I appreciate it. Let me see. Is it Roland or ROL? Hey, you're out there. Thank you so much for going to buy me a coffee, and I'm sure somebody will give you some booms. Roland did. Roland, give yourself some booms. Ha 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 ha. Thanks, Roland. I appreciate it. Well, yeah, Miss Minister Sue, she is a classical liberal. I mean, she, as far as social policies of old, FDR, JFK, Hubert Humphrey, Harry Truman, that kind of liberal. Not whatever kind of stuff they've got going on now. Miss Minister Sue for Roland said, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, they may very well all be dismissed. But, I think, I'm thinking strategy-wise, because Trump said November 5th, all will be on display. Has she got enough stuff in her files? Because if she just dismisses cases and everybody grabs their files up and goes home, has she got enough stuff, evidence, filed with the court to really put the screws to these criminals? Part of the introducing evidence and declassifying certain things lawfully is to have them introduced into a court procedure. So let's just hope that there's enough. There, Gary gave Roland some booms. That's right. People with eyes can see and ears can hear. But so many people rely on this fake news. And at what point does it become criminal? Speaking of what point does something become criminal? I was talking about the Hunter Biden business with the gun charge. And I said, well, it'd be a good template to say, when do you take away somebody's Second Amendment rights? Well, sure enough, we had a decision come out today, 8-1. If somebody accuses you of domestic violence, that you can have your right to keep and bear arms taken away from you. Who was the one who did not agree with that? 8-1. Yeah, hit the like button. Mark got it. Clarence Thomas is the only one. I'm surprised. I would have thought, Alito, at least one other, but he was totally alone. And when you think about how many times you can see on videos people bruising themselves, not exclusively women, but it happens a lot. Men get accused of a lot of terrible things. Well, just look at Trump with the 30-year-old accusation. Okay, that stuck according to these jurists. So it's like with the news, though. At what point does their behavior constitute a limitation on the First Amendment speech? Okay, the press has always had, I would call it an enhanced First Amendment. They can say things about public figures that if my neighbor said about me, I could sue my neighbor's eyeballs out of their head. But the press has more leeway with public figures. So at what point can these rights be curtailed? Not just the Second Amendment, but the First Amendment. Well, we know with the Second Amendment, all it takes is an accusation, someone to point a finger at you. So what about with coordinated misinformation that ends up tearing apart families, tearing apart friendships, with people arguing? Your really good friends believe Donald Trump tells people to drink bleach, that he RAPs women, right? That he sides with the Klan as good and fine people. And prior to those lies, you had a good friend or a good family member. And they pump out information where your formerly good friend or good family member, friend, is riding around alone in their car with something over their face like an idiot. And people arguing about it. And let me tell you something, when you have torn apart families, when you've torn apart friendships, you've torn apart a nation. So at what point does their behavior get curtailed? At what point do they suffer consequences for abuse of abusing the First Amendment? When they knowingly put forth false information and participate in an illegal psychological warfare campaign. That's when. Joe Biden, this is from Newsweek, put Samuel Alito in a jam. Oh, really? This was today. President Joe Biden's executive order on asylum will put Justice Samuel Alito's strict interpretation of legislation to the test. So Joe Biden's saying he can go against legislation, congressional legislation, just by signing an executive order. Well, I guess we know another reason why they're going after Alito, because of his interpretation. And so is Thomas. He's going to be that's same way also. That's right, Roland. We haven't heard too much about Roberts. He's laying low, isn't he? Or they're laying off of him. Well, as far as that draft business, the New York Post put out a article, Congress mulls forcing women to join men in registering for the draft. sparking backlash. That goes to what I was saying last night. What they did, automatically registering men 18 to 25, they removed them from the danger of being prosecuted for forgetting to register or not knowing they had to register. They didn't change a thing except remove the punishment for not doing it. Men have had to register for the draft for at least half a century, required by law. Now, in a separate issue, they're claiming that Congress, and they're not saying Republicans or Democrats are making those noises. They're just saying Congress is mulling drafting women. That is a red herring being thrown out by the Democrats to get everybody scared. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping, Mark. The Brunson case in the back pocket. Well, you never know. They've got some more rulings that are going to be popping out. It's getting down to crunch time. Here's the Babylon Bee says a DOJ opens up a new tip line for criminals to report whistleblowers. Well, they were putting out the fundraising, and they said Trump's got 116 million in reserves, and the Biden bunch has 92 million. And I'm thinking, wow, some of this expense of defending our candidate is being jacked way up because of these phony charges. And Trump still outpaced him, but I was surprised at it being, I didn't think the Biden campaign had raised 92 million or whatever the figure was, 90 something. Well, guess what? Came out today. Midas Trash Network. Breaking. Hit the thumbs up if you support Biden. Bloomberg backs Biden. Billionaire entrepreneur Michael Bloomberg has reportedly given nearly $20 million to President Biden's re-election effort in yet another boost to the campaign. Okay, Midas Trash. You answered the question right there. More than 20% of the Biden administration's campaign reserves have been put in by one person, Michael Bloomberg. 22%, roughly. That's a pretty big chunk. And remember, Bloomberg ran against Trump for the nomination. Yeah, that's right. If you have someone in there illegitimate, you don't have executive order, you have evidence. FTX dried up. FTX, they said, had way more assets than what the people were supposedly defrauded out of. Trying to get that kid out of jail. Well, a lot of the mules are going to be scared of him because we were talking about all the arrests and crackdowns in all the different states. Well, Elon Musk said day before yesterday that some homicidal maniacs were after him. Did you all see that X put out by Elon? Well, he said way back when he bought Twitter that they were going to try to off him. I got to watch what I say. Well, now he said it again, that he's got homicidal maniacs after him. And the press isn't reporting that. But he put out another X saying, pseudo crime. Elon Musk sounds the alarm on Hunter Biden after he was found guilty on federal gun charges. Quote, he and others should be in jail for impugning the integrity of the United States by taking bribes for political favors, not for this pseudo crime. Yeah, that's just a distraction about all the other crimes he's committed. That's right, Miss Minister. They can print however much they want. And, you know, when you got how many billionaires know they're going to get it? And they'll find some way to funnel money. Like this LinkedIn guy. Where is that article? This LinkedIn creep. Let me find him. He endorsed Biden. And the LinkedIn thing is pretty much the same as Zuckerberg and the one that started Twitter. What was his name? The concept of LinkedIn and the digital footprint or whatever was also supplied by DARPA and handed over to him. And this is what I believe. And he's nothing but an operative. But the founder of LinkedIn has backed Biden. I forget his name. I've got it in here somewhere. I'm just looking to see if I can find it. But anyway, you all know his name or know who I'm talking about. What was this crap? They tried to start up with Roger Stone. Did you all hear that? It was another phony baloney story about Roger Stone. And it blew up in their faces. Just like that Cohen guy about Trump Jr. supposedly helping Donald Trump off the stage. Jack Dorsey, yeah, he's Twitter founder, but the LinkedIn founder's got a different name. Let me see if I can find that. There's a picture of Brett Baer, you little creep. Brett Baer, the creep. And Alvin Bragg dropping all those charges. Remember I showed a video of all those kids getting arrested in Colombia, and I mean, they had to go in there with smoke grenades, all kinds of stuff. No charges. But then they're doing what they're doing to Trump. Well, I might not have a picture of him. But here's another interesting story. That's right, Araceli. Here's a story pertaining to that. They tried to interview this guy, Jonathan Cho. I guess he's a reporter. Goes to the home of Texas Children's Hospital CEO Mark Wallace to ask him about the cases of alleged Medicaid fraud involving trans procedures done to children at the hospital he runs. Now, some of you may know, may not know, there's Medicare and there's Medicaid. Medicaid is, a lot of times for people on disability or can't afford to be enrolled in Medicare or aren't old enough. I think 65 to be on Medicare. So Medicaid is different. But this guy was performing that type of what I call experimentation, okay? Experimenting on underage human beings using Medicaid benefits. What did he do? He refused to answer any questions and called the police. So we'll see who's getting a police call on him. Remember the Kevorkian model, okay? Remember the gym instructor who was a scientist, all right? Doctors and scientists, they're not going to get away with it. And we're documenting it. How many people's lives did he ruin? Here's something Citizens Free Press put up. Leftists laughed when Trump talked about buying Greenland. The article says, huge rare earth discovery is game changer in the Americas trade war with China. Greenland's massive rare earth deposit, acquired by a NASDAQ-listed company, could significantly reduce the West's dependence on China for critical minerals. And don't forget, China gets their minerals because they've gone to Africa and bought out contracts and all kinds of government guarantees and stuff from African nations to mine their cobalt. So now we found a bunch in Greenland. Ain't that something? And then, how many of you all saw this Amazon employee? I guess it was a TikTok video. I watched it. It's a short video, and it's full of foul language. And it's got this girl opening up a box, and it's full of Trump hats. And she's filming it, and she's saying, anybody who orders this stuff ain't gonna get it. And across the screen, she has F Trump, but she's got it spelled all the way out. So she's talking real bold, brash and bold. I'm just going to stick this somewhere, hide it away. Nobody will ever find it. It ain't getting delivered. Any of these maggots order any of this Trump trash ain't going to get it. Boy, if that was the U.S. mail. But anyway, that aside, even if it's not the U.S. mail, they should be arresting that person. But see, with the TikTok thing, they can find them, and they can do a voice comparison. They'll know exactly the time and the second it was videotaped. They'll know where she was standing when she videotaped it. So it's just no way out of it. But is anybody going to do anything? Oh my, hold on, I got a notification. Miss Mendersu, stop by, buy me a coffee. I do appreciate it so very much. And give Miss Mendersu some booms for stopping by my a coffee. Thank you very much. Roland, Gary, and Miss Mendersu help sponsor tonight's program. I really appreciate it very much. Well, it's not the mail, Roland. It's Amazon. It could have been U.S. mail. I have to watch the video again and see if there's a label on the box. It doesn't show a label. I'm looking at a freeze frame before she cut the box open. It could be FedEx or UPS. And then tampering with mail won't apply. It'll just be like being, porch pirate or, that's why so many FedEx train compartments were getting broken into and everything stolen out of them. So it's hard to say. I've heard plenty of stories about people sending off Republican stuff on eBay, and because they have codes on the label where if somebody knows what they're doing, they can find out what's in that package. They can look. It may have the item number on the label, and they just go on eBay and put the item number in or whatever code, and that's something conservative or Republican or MAGA hat. I'll just throw this in the creek. Say, I don't know what happened to it. Amazon. And then there was a good video. I like watching them. Of Anderson's Pooper Scooper with McCabe again. With Andrew McCabe. He was on there crying the blues. Disgraced fired FBI Director Andrew McCabe is shocked and disgusted voters could democratically choose Donald Trump again. And he went through the whole thing about his family, his kids. They're all concerned. They're all afraid. Well, maybe you shouldn't have acted like a criminal. Maybe you should not. You shouldn't have interfered with the election. Maybe you shouldn't have helped slander Donald Trump and his supporters. Okay, acting like a commie. Maybe that's what. Yeah, that's what you should do. But it's Missouri, I believe, right? Has filed a lawsuit against the state of New York for interfering with Missouri. I believe it's Missouri, and there's 6 or 7 other states that are looking at joining in, and that could snowball for them to they are unconstitutionally interfering with that state's ability to pick who they want to be president. Election interference, in other words. So things are going to snowball. And what's waiting in the wings, we haven't talked about it. Who knows when it's going to pop off? I believe it's going to pop off. I just don't know when. Inspector General Horowitz, and Huber, I believe they've been conducting grand juries in Utah and different states that are well out of the Magic Kingdom's influence. And they have over 600 investigators. We've got nearly 300,000 sealed indictments that can all be verified on the internet. It's like a big zit that's going to pop, I think. A big boil on the behind of America. There you go, Gary, Miss Mendersu, boom, boom, boom. And if you think about it, folks, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down. And if you're not subscribed, why don't you do that? Helps me out. Thank you, Gary. Gary said I'm a good man. I'm a good man, Charlie Brown. So a lot of stuff gearing up. Everybody's saying, well, 5 months to the election, that's quick. Yeah, it's quick. But it's well over a half a year till the actual peaceful transfer of power. November 5th, then you got December 5th, January 5th, and then another 2.5 months after the election. 2.5 months after the election will be the peaceful transfer of power, supposedly. But what did Trump say? I'm going to end this war before I take office. That's something made my antennas go up. And he said on November 5th, all will be on display. Biggest day in American history. I know I'm dreaming in Technicolor, but on display, I would like it to be displayed in a tribunal. The opening day of the tribunal. All rise. Comes now this day, so-and-so, so-and-so, to answer on the following charges. That's what I'd like to see. But I'm just dreaming in Technicolor. Wanda says pacer.gov is where the indictments are. Yeah, I had one. It was on my phone that got nuked last week, 2 weeks ago. My phone got nuked. My secret backup. I want to take a picture of that, show you what they did to it. I have taken it apart to try to save it. Anyway, I used to go to badboys.com. I think it showed indictments across the country. You go to any state in the union and it showed you the totals. You didn't have to go to each state, it just showed you the totals of federal indictments. But Wanda's got pacer.gov. I'd check that out. It's close to 300, isn't it? 300,000, isn't it, Wanda? Well, Jake Tapper's house, I saw a video today, Code Pink was outside of Jake Tapper's house, which I don't agree with that for anybody. I didn't think it was funny when the guy went and used the bathroom in Nancy Pelosi's driveway. I didn't think it was funny of course not when they went after Supreme Court justice to, quote, protest in front of their houses. That should be completely off limits. That is criminal. Never mind should be criminal. It is criminal to do that to a judge. Now, as far as these so-called reporters, I don't agree with either, but they were out there at his house protesting, screaming, yelling, looking all goofball and evil because of the pro-Israeli coverage is what they're claiming. Wasn't a big crowd, but it's enough to make you go, oh, man. So I don't know if you all heard this or not, but one of the migrants that got arrested for the horrible thing they did to the 12-year-old girl, Jocelyn Nungari, was released into the U.S. just weeks ago. Department of Human Services tells me this is somebody named Jenny Taer, Taer. Agents put a GPS tracker on Pina Ramos, which was only set to monitor his location for 21 days. And they got a picture of him there, an angry looking, nasty, killing criminal. And quick trials, take care of it. Both of them out of here. And Bill Melugin, Melugin, says new in a statement to Fox News, ICE confirms that the Ecuadorian illegal alien charged with injuring that 13-year-old, all right, great, that 13-year-old, not to 12, in New York City was caught by Border Patrol agents in Eagle Pass. Remember, we did watch videos on Eagle Pass in June of 2021, then released into the U.S. with a future court date. A judge ordered him to be deported in February of 2022, but he was never removed. So he'd been wandering around after a order to leave for 2 years, more than 2 years. That makes him part of ICE's non-detained docket, which we reported this week has exploded to 7.4 million cases, with each ICE officer currently having to manage an average of 7,000 cases each. In other words, it's impossible to keep up with. It's criminal in the way they're administering this. All right. I was just looking through the chats. So anyway, let's see. And Trump put out a truth concerning the Ten Commandments. That's a good one to wrap up with tonight. Like I was saying last night, which one do they have an issue with? I mean, the Ten Commandments are pretty basic points of a civilized society to follow. Which one do you guys got a problem with? Trump said, I love the Ten Commandments in public schools. This is all caps. Private schools and many other places for that matter. Read it. How can we as a nation go wrong? This may be, in fact, the first major step in the revival of religion, which is desperately needed in our country. Bring back the Ten Commandments, MAGA 2024. Okay? It's like Mr. T said a while back, this country has a spiritual problem. A spiritual problem. I was talking to a young guy who has a channel, kind of for friends and things, and he was talking to me. Excuse me, I was sipping my coffee, and he was in despair on some of his streams he was doing, and he had like 10 friends in the chats, and he knew me from earlier time, and he said, I said hi in the comments. He asked me to come up on his live stream. So I did. And I said, what you need to do, I said, well, I want to suggest to you. I said, I want to suggest some movies to you. And the things that he was upset about, I would say, are a lot of people share a lot of young people share. No real sense of meaning. Uh, Life doesn't appear glorious or purposeful. What's it all about? Being in despair, turning to things to abuse like drugs. And I said, yeah. I said, why don't you do yourself a favor and watch the movie Ben-Hur? And we've talked about it here. Charlton Heston, Ben-Hur. And he did a really early in the morning, I wasn't up for it, where he watched it and he was talking about how much the movie moved him and how it really changed the focus of his concerns and uplifted him. And I thought, and I listened to the stream. There are different time zones, so I didn't do anything with that. And many of you know about the movie Ben-Hur, and if you don't, watch it. Okay, you can get it on Netflix. You can get it, a lot of places. And I thought, wow, I feel better. I'm glad. I'm glad that a production 60 years old or however old it is could get into a young person's life in a positive way. I was so happy, but then I listened to another broadcast about 2 days later, and he was talking with his friends and encouraging them to watch Ben-Hur also. So I typed in there, I'm glad I could help. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And I have some other movies you might like also. And he said, well, before you go any farther, I want to say I'm just not into the religious part of it. And my stomach just dropped. And I thought to myself, well, what did you get out of it? If you didn't get the message through the movie Ben-Hur. He said, I'm just not into that stuff, not into the religion, but I do like the idea of you get knocked down in life, you get back up again, and you never give up. It really inspired me. A week later, he's doing a live stream, right back in the same miserable, crying situation of hopelessness and despair. Too many young people are watching creations from Hollywood for special effects, for self-gratification, like I can be Ben-Hur, I can be whatever heroic character there is. I don't need help from anything spiritual. I don't need the strength I can draw from the glory of God or anything. I can do it myself. And man, wasn't that chariot race cool. Man, wasn't that shootout in the desert on a cowboy movie cool. That's not why I wanted to watch Ben-Hur. So I saw somebody else in another chat situation. I didn't remember their name, but they saw me. And they said, whatever happened to so-and-so? The guy I told to watch Ben-Hur and who got inspiration from it. I said, I don't know. I haven't talked to him. but he decided to choose another path. And that's it. All I can do is show the path, let them walk down it. And if they can't, they don't get it. They just don't get it. Like I said, Christ didn't beg anybody to follow him. They followed him. He didn't chase them. So maybe down the road, the one line of many I wanted them to hear was where Ben-Hur said he had a drink of water, and somebody in the movie said to him, after they said, here, you want some water? Here's more. And he said, drank the water. He said, yeah, but I'm still thirsty for something. I'm thirsty for something else. And he was referencing the living water. So I tried. And who knows? Maybe it's a seed that's just not ready to sprout. Maybe a scene or a line or a revisit to the movie or cracking open the Bible just to check something that was said in the movie, something may make that seed sprout. I don't know. But we try as best we can without being overbearing, without being bullies, without wasting our precious time chasing people who delight in running away. Don't ever do that. Or love to complain while they run away from the answer. They want to be a victim and they want to complain. I'm not saying this kid's doing that, but it's getting close to that. So anyway, be discerning about who you spend your precious time with. And thank you for spending your precious time with me. And I'll be broadcasting. If something big happens, I will broadcast tomorrow. Sunday or Monday, I'm not sure. But if you are subscribed and have hit the notification bell, you should know. And if you have not got notifications, go in there and make sure you've hit the notification bell if you are subscribed. And I do hope you found this compelling enough to either give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And let me see what's going on in the comments. Thank you, Debbie. Hi, Sandy. Well, Sandy, the story of Ben-Hur is quite a bit more than pick yourself up and dust yourself off and start all over again. Because it's kind of hard to do that when you got a cross on your back and people whipping you and nailing you to that cross. Kind of hard to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start all over again. That's right. Charlton Heston for my cold, dead hands. Yeah, Roland, I was hoping if you watched Ben-Hur, you would go to the Ten Commandments with Charlton Heston. Become a fan of Charlton Heston movies or movies of that genre. But alas, it was not to be. But, the other thing that I said to myself, folks, is that maybe there was somebody out there in his chats, even though there weren't very many people, maybe 10 people. Who knows? A month or two later, somebody else on a boring night, sad night, wanting to listen to him talk about how worthless his life is, hears me make that suggestion and gets something from it. Who knows? Something compelled me to become involved and talk about it. Hi, Island Girl. So we'll see. All right. Anyway, like I said, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell. And I hope you all have a great night. And I'll be seeing you real soon. Thank you, everybody, for helping out with the channel tonight. I do appreciate it. Roland, Miss Minda Sue, and Gary. Everybody got booms tonight. Thank you so much. And Robin, if you're out there, thank you for last night, helping out last night. Everybody that's helped out with Buy Me a Coffee. Yeah, it was a simple but inspiring movie about those who relied upon God. Just shows you how life can collapse and where you get your strength. All right, folks, you all have a great night. I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.